I grew up in Malibu, California. I grew up with Chris Penn, Sean Penn, Rob Lowe, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, all those kids. My dad was a director. He directed all those guys in like Young Guns.
No shit.
Yeah, so my dad's a cowboy from South Dakota. I'm adopted by him, biological mother. And then I was born in Michigan on a military base, Selfridge Air Force Base. My grandfather was a commander in the Navy. And my mom left my biological father 2 days before I was born, jumped on a bus and then on a train. I could have been born on a train like in Tennessee or in a bus stop. I thought that was kind of cool. But I ended up in a military hospital in Detroit. And then my mom decided to move out to California with 2 boys at the age of 23 to become an actress. Really smart, no money. And met my dad who adopted me, who ended up moving us to Malibu, California, in a little trailer park we grew up. But it was idyllic. And all these guys were in the film industry. I wanted to play football and go to school. And so I did all that. And then just before my senior year of high school, I went and did a movie with my dad, and Robert Duvall starred in it called The Stone Boy. And I got killed in that movie early on, and I just did it because my dad said, you look like the kid. And then I finished my senior year of high school, and I got a lot of options to go play football. So I got a bunch of scholarship opportunities. But
I'm sure you fucking killed it in high school. Like, oh yeah, he's the pro football player that was in movies.
Well, in high school, I wasn't quite there yet, obviously.
Okay.
But college, they were, I was at college, and I chose Princeton instead of going to these football schools because I wanted to go to what I thought was the best school in
God, you're smart
the world.
as shit.
I was a good football player.
Oh, okay.
But I did well in school. The hardest thing about
Princeton's insane.
Hardest thing about Princeton is getting in. And once you're in, if you fail out, you screwed up. Really, that's it. But I had to adjust tremendously because I remember my first exam, I got an 86. I was like, kiss my ass, 86. And they're like, yeah, it's a C plus, Mr. Cain. I was like, what? It's not a C plus, it's an 86. Yeah. It's a solid B. Yeah. Looking at an A, and they're like, no, you didn't do any of the extra credit stuff, and we grade on a curve here. I was like, what? There was extra credit? They're
Grading
like, yeah,
negative on a curve.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what they used to do. I don't know what they do now, but stuff's gone crazy insane.
Nowadays, they whip out a paint swatch like, Mr. Cain, I don't think you didn't score high enough.
But I'm Japanese. That's the thing. It's also funny. Is my given name is Tanaka.
No shit.
I'm Japanese. I'm English, Irish, and Japanese.
I wish you had a stronger Japanese accent. Superman would have been way cooler.
Holy shit, I could have played it that way. So
Superman versus Godzilla.
So get there though. That's the truth.
It's a brain. No, he's a Superman.
Shit. You do a better job of it than I do. Holy crap. But when I got the job of Superman, the internet was in its infancy. I know it's hard to believe for you youngins here. But 93 is when I started playing Superman, and then somebody's like, we want Superman, not Sushi Man.
Wait, for real?
Oh, wow. Holy fuck, the internet was still racist back then.
Yes, it was. But the fun thing was, I thought that was the funniest shit I'd ever heard. My brother, still reminds me of it because he thinks it's hysterical. He calls me, his nickname for me is Wang, even though it's a Chinese name, because he thinks I look more Asian than he does. And I call him Juan Valdez because he looks more Mexican than I do. And I speak fluent Spanish. So it's just jacked up. But the racist jokes are supposed to happen. Like, my best friend's black, and you should hear what we say. And my other great friend is Iranian. If you listen to us speak to each other, you'd think we hated each other. But that's how it's supposed to be.
Chase, just bleep out that entire segment so it sounds really racist. You should hear us, boy.
I've been called I've played gay in 2 movies. I've kissed a man.
Dude.
And you know what was weird about that?
Kissing a man?
Yeah. I kissed a man, and we tried to fake it at first because he was straight and I was straight. I am straight. So I had to kiss. I play movies.
This is like the fucking scene from The Dictator or The Interview where we're just all just like, Eminem's gay?
Yeah.
Wait, go back to that.
Yeah, hold on.
That movie was so good.
I kissed a man.
No, Andrew, and we were trying to fake it. They're like, and the director Greg Berlanti, who's like king of all, like he did Supergirl, DC Legends of Tomorrow. All the CW thing. He had actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the most shows on. Greatest guy in the world. But it's his his story, and he was directing this. And he's like, I know you guys are uncomfortable trying to fake this. We're trying to fake it. And he's like, it's not working. So can you guys just kiss for a second and do a thing? And I was like, here we go. Let's do it. And then the kid had the softest lips. It was just weird. I didn't expect it.
I picture you pulling away and like, wow.
No, it was music. There was
music playing.
There was
All of a sudden, you got rehearsals, and now you guys are doing
Can we
it.
block this?
all I want to say is this: he's never called me, and I'm upset. A little bit upset.
How much did you get paid for that role?
Almost nothing. We all did it because we loved the project. Honest truth, and there were great people in it. It was a lovely.
What was
project.
this for?
It's called a movie called The Broken Hearts Club.
Okay.
It's a good film. You should see it. I Kiss a Man. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
That's always one of those things that was like,
Oh, I was, but I was like, oh God. It's one of those things. I was like, I'm an actor, and I don't want to do this. I want to do it. And he's like, just go
Well,
ahead.
you just told me that you read the script and said, "Oh, I'll do that for free."
yeah.
Well, that's true.
I'm an actor.
All right.
I'm method.
If you want to parse my words, I did say exactly that, but that's
Trust me,
yeah.
I've been in politics. I know how that works.
You have to do in politics. Hey, that's how I grew up watching, Godzilla. I mean, that was it, man. That was the best. And do you remember Giant Robot? You're too young. Giant Robot.
I don't remember Giant
Yeah,
Robot.
you guys are too young. Damn it.
Sorry, I grew up with Lois and Clark.
There we go.
Xena Warrior Princess.
I know.
Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. That's what I grew up on.
Kevin Sorbo, a good buddy of mine. Guess who the number 2 person? There was 2 of us went to network for Superman. It was me and Kevin Sorbo.
You got it over him.
Yeah, I heard his audition too. Kevin, I think you played it a little angry. So he played it a little more angry. But I was like, he's blonde hair. You can't get it. He's blonde.
And you nailed it. I remember, as Cody saying, it's growing up, and it's still in my time frame of watching it at. My aunt was a super huge fan of you, watching it in that small ass apartment. They're like, oh,
I think we talked about it too. We didn't have cable, but we could always watch that on like WB13 or like some of the free channels that you would get over over the antenna. And it was fucking Xena. It was Lois and Clark, and it was Hercules. And they were back to back to back, and it's like, this is my shit right here. I'm 9 years old, like, yes.
Go heat up. Wait, don't you?
Wait, you
heat
were
up
9? Fuck.
Ish. Sorry.
Ish, 9. No, such a great. Listen, I love doing that job. It was amazing. It's too much work, by the way. It's 18 hours a day minimum every day
For sure.
Really? That's why I won't do another series.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and then out the gate, you probably didn't. What season did you actually start getting paid a little bit better than the?
I renegotiated after the first season. The first
Okay, so
season, the amount of money I
trash.
made, I didn't even want to talk about.
Dude, it's trash.
I was just
pay out
so
the gate.
happy to have a job. I could pay my rent. I was like, this is awesome. And then I realized what it was like, because back then there was 3 networks, ABC, NBC, CBS. That was it. The CW hadn't even come in. The Fox hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
So, and you have to, before you test at network, you have to sign your contract. So you have to know how much money is on the line now. That's great. This much money's on the line. Don't fuck it up. It's like, oh my God. When I got the job, I was like, all right, I got the job. But then I was like, holy shit, I got the job. It's almost like if I ran for Congress and then got, oh wait, and then you get the job. What the hell? Holy shit. And it felt like that though. I was like, I don't know how, will they like me? Will anybody believe that I can play this character? Are they going to hate? Who knows? I was terrified.
Would they accept a Japanese Superman?
I never
Sushi man. Sushi man.
This is where I'm starting to wonder, like, man, I am way less racist than I thought. I had no idea that you were any sort of Asian descent.
Oh yeah, well of course
they're
then
Mexican.
but I'll speak. I've played Mexican. I played Hawaiian. I played Italian.
An actor.
I played a
So you
racist.
made a career off of what is that?
Ambiguity.
Ambiguity.
That's it.
What is it?
Racially
Cultural
ambiguous.
appropriation.
Oh yeah. That's really. They should change the second word to appreciation, because that's what it is.
Spoken like a true racist.
Thank you very much. So the funny thing is like when
Colonizer.
when all that was
Piece of shit.
when that's happening, and somebody's like, they're calling me, he's a white supremacist, and they're like, his given name is Tanaka. It's tattooed on my ankle right there. That's Tanaka. Is it? That says Tanaka, right? Yeah. Okay, thanks.
From the
That looks like a
Japanese
basket and a
kanji.
dreidel.
It is a basketball dreidel.
Yeah.
So no, but it was like they're like, somebody's going, he's a racist. Look at, he says this. And I'm like, what? And somebody's like, hey, his given name is Tanaka. He's Japanese. He's like, what? He whitewashed that so he could go to. I got adopted, you assholes. It wasn't like I changed it at 4 years old myself. I don't want to be known as a Japanese man, so I'll hide that. Very proud of it, and it's just crazy the things people say. It's insane.
Oh, I love it.
It's insane.
Just you being just hating on you. Like he changed his name on purpose. Like, man.
Yeah, I changed it because I was terrified of Tanaka. That's why I tattooed it on my Ankle.
So when you got into like Superman, your first season, you're like, okay, the pay is shit, lots of work, but then you're like, okay.
But it was more than I'd ever made, by the way, ever.
How old were you at the time?
26 when I got the job, 27 when it aired.
That's awesome.
What was the last season of Lois and Clark? It was how many seasons did it go?
We did 4.
4? Okay.
It was 1997.
Okay, so those were like did you know it was coming to a conclusion?
No, we were picked up for season 4. Season 5. We were going to do the season, but in the hiatus, Terry Hatcher she was pregnant, and it became a very complicated pregnancy, and she was going to be on her back, basically bedridden, and so we couldn't shoot. I was like,
Lois has cancer.
I
was like, right then, and you're like,
I said, let's write it into the show. Let's make it. We'll put her in we'll shoot a lot of her stuff early. We'll just sort of bank as much as we can with her, and just sort of make it up. How does this work between a Kryptonian and a human? Blah blah.
Which is crazy. Like nowadays would all be AI.
Oh God!
Would just
you're walking around not even pregnant.
Deep fake.
Yeah,
fucking everything. Like that's so much simpler nowadays. Back then, that's a real fucking problem.
That was a real
and that's
problem.
film. You filmed on film, yeah, which is crazy because that is action. Nail your fucking line because we're not just doing like line. You can't
do that. We never did that.
No, God, no.
Never.
Burning film.
Oh yeah, and you were the second you wanted quick sticks to get it going because you only had so much film, and if it was a longer take, the whole magazine is there. So it was a whole thing. Sometimes you get it already, and we go, and all of a sudden the mag would be like, they're like, all right, and the guys are smacking it on the outside, pap. If it doesn't work, then they're like, all right, change the mag. We're down for 5-10 minutes every single time.
Were you doing everything?
Fucking crazy,
dude. I forgot.
Constantly.
So she was down, and you were arguing like, why don't we shoot the season like this?
I
was
ready to do it because I was prepared for season 5. I knew it's too much. It really is too much for like to have any work-life balance or anything like that. Doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. So I'm single though. I got nothing. I got a couple dogs at home running around. They're running around without me, all day long. But I would leave, and minimum 18 hours later, I'd be home. And my mom's like, "Honey, you're doing this." It's like when we see you. This is how my mom talks. When we see you, you're so quick. And I go, "Ma, I got 15 minutes. I got like 15 minutes here. If I don't do this, I can't flip the weekend around, and I can't get up." Oh, and I was like, it's a pain in the ass. But everyone, if they wanted to see me, had to come to set. You never saw me anywhere else. I was never anywhere else.
I hope my mom is listening to this part right now.
This is part of the deal, Mom. That's what makes it a pain in the ass, and it's too much. So I won't do a series. So what happened is my son was born in 2000. I'm a single dad, and his mom and I fought over custody because she wanted to go back to that's a whole nother show.
That is Can.
That is
Can.
I will do that. I want my lawyer here, and I want we ended up in a really nasty custody battle and so on and so forth. But that changed everything for me because now I got a kid, and again being adopted, I knew that if my dad wasn't around, I look at all the hardest points in time in my life. My dad was always there. Like my dad's my hero. I mean, there's no question. My dad's 80 years old now. He's just awesome. And it's funny because he's 5. I don't know, what is he now? 5'7", Dad. He was 5'9". You get smaller. He's 80 years old, and but my dad's a stud. He's a cowboy. Like I said, he directed Young Guns. That was Then, This Is Now. The Principal. All these different.
What was his
things.
name again?
Christopher Cain. Still is.
Christopher Cain. Okay.
Damn it.
Well, no, I'm
kidding. He's still here.
Not that he's dead. I'm just
that's my son's name too. So I named my
Brandon's
son.
like, God rest his soul. Brandon's still. I saw him.
I just saw him yesterday. I'm gonna call
that was Young Guns was one of the movies that like my dad made me sit down and watch as a kid.
Young
He's
Guns,
like, you
badass
gotta
movie.
fucking watch this movie, and I'm glad he did. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. But I remember the day I'd come back from college. My dad'd be like, read this script, tell me what you think. He was always trying to make me a writer, and I wrote episodes of Lois and Clark. I've written 40 scripts. I've tons, and I love it. And early on in my career, playing Superman, my dad even said, he goes, "You can act for the rest of your life. You'll never be as good an actor as you are a writer right now." I was like, so I should stop acting? What do you? I don't know. He's like, because I suck.
What kind of riddle is this,
I don't know
man?
what this means. It's hard to make money as a writer though, because selling them and doing the things is a pain in the ass. So, but what was my point? Oh, so he'd give me these scripts and be like, read this, tell me this. And I would read the script. And because all these kids I grew up with, he's like, you think Emilio can play Billy the Kid? And I was like, yeah, in this script for sure. I remember he was just like, okay. But then I go back to school, fucking Emilio's playing Billy the Kid. I was like, oh, wow. And then he'd be doing these things while it was going on, and it was fun. But I thought everybody's dad did that because I didn't know any better. I had never been out of Malibu.